Hello, I'm Layla McKinnon, filling in for Tracy Grimshaw. Welcome to A Current Affair. First tonight, the seafood scam costing you a fortune. Fish used to be one of the great cheap meals. Well, now it's barely affordable. Tonight, we expose the tricks that have us paying more for much less.
It's a sham, definitely it's a sham.
You're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars.
That is a rip-off. Yep.
It's our greatest natural resource. They call it liquid gold, but water's usually not very expensive. You'll get around 1,000 litres out of your tap for about $1. In a shop, you might get 1 litre for $3 or $4. But imagine if I asked you to pay $6 for this cup of water. You'd probably agree that's pretty bad value for money, but chances are if you've eaten frozen seafood, that's exactly what you've paid, and you've done this with it.
You're selling water at $20, $30, $40 per kilo.
Sea bream, mulwan, turkey, some flatheads, King George whiting.
They would simply use a weight-enhancing additive that would make the seafood retain its moisture even when you've thawed it.
Fish wholesaler Chris Gambrellis explains a scam that's cost Australian consumers millions.
Here, you can see the ice on it. You can see the glazing. Have a look at that.
All frozen seafood is given a water-based glaze to protect the flesh.
While the product is frozen, yes, it has to have some glazing on it to protect it from freezer burns.
But there have never been any laws about how much glaze you can use.
Here we have some frozen bassa fillets out of Vietnam. Put them on a scale and find out its gross weight, which is 940 grams.
As a demonstration, Chris defrosted this kilo bag of frozen fillets.
It weighs 170 grams less from its frozen weight that it had. So the end user, it's losing, in dollar terms, $1 per kilo.
Of water that goes straight, literally, down the drain.
The supposed kilo of fish is nothing of the sort.
So they underweigh the prawns, add the additive, and that inflates the weight.
As Harry Peters from the Seafood Importers Association explains, unscrupulous producers have been free to bulk up their weights with translucent glazing as much as they dare.
Well, there weren't any laws in place previously. It was open go.
It's not just fish. Almost all frozen seafood is susceptible.
Now we have here 2 bags, the same prawn from the same supplier, the same species, the same size, same everything, but the only difference is this has 200 grams more water, which is $6 more per kilo.
All of the products we tested were about 20% underweight.
And just past there, and I'm just going to pop that in there.
Renowned chef Guy Grossi says to be sure you're getting what you paid for, try to buy fresh or at least defrosted and weighed with the glaze drained. And with fish, whole is best.
Because when you get looking at whole fish, it's much easier to tell that it's fresh.
Australia produces about $2 billion worth a year. We import $1 billion. So if only 10% of that was coming under the cheats, that's tens of millions of dollars.
Harry Peters says big supermarkets are unlikely to sell underweight seafood. Their market power discourages producers from ripping them off. After 9 years of lobbying, state governments have finally stepped in to protect everyone else.
And the legislation is now in place in Queensland, New South Wales and Victoria.
Those new laws will make short weighing illegal, with inspectors poised to pounce on the shonks.
Anyone that gets caught practicing in this matter, they should be out of business for at least 7, 10 years or whatever.
It's hard to believe that sort of practice was legal in the first place, but it's good to see that the authorities have acted on